There's a lot of vocabulary and terminology that we use in banking and in finance that might not be familiar to you. So we're going to go through these different terms: deposit, withdrawal, balance, fees, and overdraft programs right now. So to start us off, we're going to look at deposits. So deposit is any time you put money into your bank account. So you get a paycheck, you get a gift check. Anytime you get money, you're going to go and deposit it into your bank account. The green slip here is an example of a deposit slip. So when you go into the bank, you'll fill out the deposit slip, give them that deposit slip along with your deposit. I highly recommend anytime you need to deposit cash, you go into the bank and you use a deposit slip and you get a receipt. You can also deposit checks in an ATM, and if you have mobile banking with your bank, you can take a picture of it with your phone and deposit it on your phone. So let's say you open the bank account and you start with $100 to open your bank account. So you have $100, you go, you open your bank account and you deposit that money into your bank account. You now have a balance, or how much money you have in your account. So if we had $100 and we deposited it, our balance is now $100. That check register, that table on the right is a check register, which is a really good place to start writing down anytime you take money out of the bank or anytime you put money into the bank. Now, just because you've deposited something doesn't mean it's always available to you right away. Sometimes banks will hold those checks that you've given them until they make sure that the other person who's given you the check has the money to cover it. So you always want to check your bank balance to see if the checks you've deposited had cleared so that you know when you have access to your money. And that's also something you can ask your bank is how long are they going to hold your deposit until you have access to it. Right. Withdrawal. Anytime you take money out of the bank, it's called a withdrawal. And you can withdraw money by physically going into the bank and withdrawing money. If you go to the ATM and take cash out, that's a withdrawal. If you make a purchase with your ATM card, that's a withdrawal. If you write a check, that's a withdrawal. So things to remember is if you write a check and the person doesn't cash it right away, remember you still need to account for that money eventually coming out of your account. Um, so let's say we withdraw $20 from our account. That would then bring our balance to $80. So we now have $80 available to us in this checking account. Fees. Now, this is where lots of banks get people. So always make sure you know what the fee schedule is and what the fees are and what you might get charged for with your bank, and remember to write it down. So if your bank charges you a monthly fee, like let's say here, for example, of $4, you have to make sure every month you take out that $4 so you know you don't have that money to spend, because that's what the bank is charging you to keep that account. Remember, a lot of banks offer accounts without fees if you do direct deposit or keep a minimum balance. So you can always ask about what the fees are and if there's regular monthly fees. Usually the big fees start adding up when you make an overdraft or do something kind of unexpected, which here we go, overdraft programs. So different banks have different programs that help you with overdrafts. So I have personally at my own bank, I have an overdraft program where if I overdrafted my checking account, they will automatically take it out of my savings account with no fee to me um, within a certain amount of money. Uh, if I go over that, then there will be fees. And that's only, so be aware of what kind of overdraft programs are in place at your bank. That way, you don't end up getting any fees that you weren't expecting. And this is also why it's really good to make sure you have a running balance, your balance, so you know what you have in your bank. And here's a little exercise. You can go ahead and pause this and see if you can fill out the balance, figure out how much money should be in this account. For those of you that did the exercise, your ending balance should be $135. Thanks. See you next time.